this fight, but now maybe he is a bit caught out as Kaiser and Evelite are making their way up. Dougie on this horn. We're going to find out just how tanky he is as Evelite playing right up in his face. That's 280 carries chunking out the horn. Horn is down, but on the other side, Fowler gets caught and killed by Baron Nasher. Now onto it, putting up a lot of damage. Still a phase away.
Can his team get there?
The Lulu ult over the wall, but still his team cannot get there. They did not have a stripper ult, but the Mighty Wolf is going in by himself. The Mighty Wolf plays it so aggressively, and it might be working. He's doing out so much damage. 2 kills to the Mighty Wolf, 1 to Century GG. Looking like they had a chance to catch the Sivir. Ends up being a disaster for Time the Fountain. Now Kaiser is running for his life here, the only member of his team to survive.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Baddy Breakdown, where I will take one team fight a week and edit together a quick summary of what happened and why it did. On this week's breakdown, we'll look into the match between Ornhub and Dive the Fountain during an extended late game team fight around Baron that ultimately Ornhub was able to clean up and end the game off of. So, here's the setup. Both teams are running a 2 teleport team comp to be able to split their lanes to match a 1-3-1 if necessary, with On the Wind on Cannon having the advantage over the opponent's Lux. This forced Dive the Fountain to make a quick choice or simply be run over in the side lanes. Mr. Coffee couldn't easily fight against Ornn without help either, so was calling for help from his teammates to collapse if he overextended. Meanwhile, Sensory's Lulu and Thor's Trundle were cleaning up vision around Baron to force the enemy team into making a drastic play. Thor does overextend and loses Flash, which could have been important in the next team fight. All of Dive the Fountain grouped together to push into the Baron pit, with the exception of Maokai going top to push out the wave. Earlier on, Dive the Fountain had put a ward in the top lane Tribrush where Duoji's Ornn now sat unknowingly. Realizing this, Tristana and Graves make the decision to burst him down before a team fight can occur. Braum heads up shortly after and helps finish him off. Meanwhile, Lux is caught by the remaining 3 members of Ornhub. Lux flashes into Baron pit, but dies due to Sivir and Baron damage. On the Wind decides this is a team fight to join. He teleports into the Tribrush ward to try and help Duoji and continue the team fight. Before the teleport completes, Ornn dies and Kennen is only able to use Slicing Maelstrom and buy some time with Zhonya's before being hit by Nature's Grasp and falling to the rest of Dive the Fountain. Lulu tries to wild growth over the wall, but it is too little, too late. Sivir, with a several thousand gold lead, is feeling very strong, and with Lulu's exhaust and his heal up, he feels good enough to fight a 3v4. Now looking at the builds of both ADCs, it's obvious that the Mighty Wolf Sivir could pack a lot more of a punch than Evilite's Tristana, but in a 3v4, Dive the Fountain was still confident to fight. Sadly for Evo, his heal was seconds from coming up, so he would have to work without it. Sivir starts off by boomerang blading across the enemy team. If Braum had not used Unbreakable on Kennen's ultimate seconds before, he probably could have prevented a majority of this damage. Evilite also backs up to try to dodge the damage, but still takes both ends. In the meanwhile, Wolf hits the front line with several Ricochet and powered auto attacks which shred through the team. If Sivir crits on her autos, each Ricochet also will crit. Remembering, Maokai used Nature's Grasp to root the Kennen earlier in the fight to try and stop any further damage from him. He does not have it to lock down to Mighty Wolf and the rest of his team. Instead, he simply tries to twist advance to lock him down, which will promptly spell shields, allowing him freedom to move to get his damage through. At this point, Thor's Trundle and Sensory's Lulu are able to join the fight. Thor's Trundle was able to put up a pillar of ice, forcing her to have to rocket jump in to deal damage, as well as knocking Braum off balance from lining up a good glacial fissure. Before Evilite even lands, he takes 3/4 of his health from a Ricochet crit as well as a static Shiv proc for 1172 HP, making him an easy target. Graves' collateral damage also goes wide, missing Wolf, only hitting the jungler and support of Ornhub. Tristana manages to get off 2 auto attacks and a buster shot before being taken down by the Mighty Wolf. Sivir is able to survive due to her heal and Lulu's help picks. Without Tristana in the fight, it is an easy cleanup for the remaining members of Ornhub. The result of this leads to Ornhub getting Baron in a safe way, winning the 50-50 against Graves' Smite due to their 10,000 gold lead. The team then executes a 1-4 split, going through bot lane and wins the game with the help of the Baron. This fight may have looked easily won by Ornhub, but if you take the time to break down the fight, there are minor events that could have made a big difference. If Braum still had his Unbreakable, most of that early damage from Sivir would not have gone through his team, or he could have flashed on top of the Mighty Wolf to ensure a better Glacial Fissure. Graves could have flashed to secure damage onto Sivir from very close range and probably blown him up, but since it was a 4v3, Dive the Fountain did not respect Ornhub's very large gold lead. Considering, if Dive the Fountain hadn't gotten into the fight and had simply pushed out lanes, Tristana would have kept scaling and gotten another item from this fight, and looked for a better fight later, in which he could have used his range advantage against Sivir. However, this was the most important fight for Dive the Fountain. Unfortunately, due to small misplays, this leads to their downfall. This has been Hook Resets with a Baddy Breakdown. Thanks for watching.